Happy Wednesday, you guys, if you are watching this on Wednesday, but it feels really odd to be filming this way. Normally, you guys know I have been in the mood to just kind of pick the camera up and film when I've been filming. I'm trying to do better in 2022 with sharing content. So Monday I shared my Disney vlog. So if you have not seen that, I will link that in a card above. So at the end of that video, I told y'all that I was going to share basically my takeaway on Wednesday. So basically, what would I say about this trip compared to the one that we took at the end of 2019? So if you've not seen that one, I will link that in a card above as well. So my entire family at basically the same time 2 years ago, so 2019 going into 2020, went on our first Disney vacation. So this was our second Disney vacation, so 2 years later. So the first thing that I've gotten asked about a lot was the Genie Plus program. So I will be honest, I honestly do not understand the entire thing, Lightning Lane versus Genie, and then is Genie Plus different than paying for a Lightning Lane? You know, it used to be called Fast Passes, and I will tell you, I think Disney is doing a lot of things in the wrong direction. To take away Fast Passes for people that stay at the resort, I think is a big no-no. Like, I'm not happy with a lot of the changes that they have made, and that one is a huge one. Because what they want you to do is they want you to pay money per ride. And I think like Rise of the Resistance, it was part of the Lightning Lane. There's like 2 or 3 different Lightning Lane type of options from my knowledge. I don't know enough about it to say that I'm educated on it. But like when it first was introduced, you could pay, for instance, like $15 a person for Rise of the Resistance, and then you could get in the Lightning Lane for that. Which, if you calculate that up, that's a lot of money. That would be $60 for one ride for my family alone. So, and then I think they've made it to where you can't do the Lightning Lane for like Rise of the Resistance. I'm really not sure how it works. But then you've got like Genie Plus, I think, where you pay like a certain one set amount per day and you can do a Lightning Lane. But it doesn't go for all rides. And I will tell you, through some mishaps on our Animal Kingdom day, we were able to do Lightning Lane, I think through the Genie Plus, for Epcot. But that did not include Frozen. It didn't include Remy's Ratatouille ride. And I will tell you that it was a waste of money. Like, I would not pay for that. My sister tried to set us up for Soarin', and she said that it was the most complicating thing to do it. She actually did it wrong, and instead of doing like 10:45 a.m., she did 10:45 p.m. So she goes to change it, and the next Lightning Lane wasn't available until like 3:45. I'm sorry, if you're like there at 10:45 and your Lightning Lane and you switch it to another one, you shouldn't have to wait until 3:45 for that same ride. That's ridiculous. So by the time we finished with that and we figured out that whole issue, we went to the Soarin' ride and we waited in line. No joke. We waited in line and we were through the line in like 35 minutes. So it was totally not worth it to have the Lightning Lane. So in my opinion, I don't like it at all. I would not pay for it, especially right now. So before we went on our vacation, I will tell you that I had one of our community members mention this. They had it so messed up that I think they purchased Lightning Lane for the day. And for some reason, evidently, your Lightning Lane at that time could like rotate. So it would be like 10:20, and then it can move you to 10:30, and it could keep moving. So she said it did that all day. Well, you can't book 2 Lightning Lanes at one time. So it took them all day to get the issue fixed. So it kept pushing it back, pushing it back, pushing it back. So they couldn't do Lightning Lane for any other rides because this one ride kept pushing back. So my opinion, it was not worth it. I didn't pay for it. I wouldn't pay for it. And honestly, even going the busiest time of the year, I don't think it was worth it. Okay, so let me talk about all the ride stuff together. So we talked about Genie Plus. Number 2 is rope dropping. Never in my wildest dreams would I think that I would rope drop a park. So basically rope dropping, if you don't know what that means, it means you open the park. Like you are the first ones when they open the gates to go in. So if you stay at a Disney resort, you get 30 minutes before I think it's 30 minutes before everybody else, which from my knowledge, it used to be an hour. So that's cut too. So fast passes are gone. Your extra time in the park is gone. So that's 2 things right there that Disney has done away with that I think is horrible. But their prices keep going up. So we rope dropped for Avatar and for Rise of the Resistance. And we were able to ride both of those rides easy in. I will tell you that Rise of the Resistance broke down. We will get to that in just a minute. That is a big one. Talking about rides breaking down. So if there is a ride that you're interested in really getting on, rope dropping is the way to go. If you get there, if you stay on resort. Now I wouldn't say rope drop if you don't stay on the resort because you can't get in until the park officially opens. But for us, it did help. And you will see kind of the crowds already in my vlog if you watched it on Monday. So we were able to ride Avatar, we were able to ride Rise of the Resistance, and those were the 2 rides that I would rope drop for. I don't know if there's any other that I would really say I would rope drop for. For some reason, Jungle Cruise is always packed at Magic Kingdom, and so is Peter Pan. And I, for the life of me, do not understand why either one of those rides always have a very long wait, because I really don't like either one of the rides, to be honest. So rope dropping is worth it for the rides that you really want to go on and that are, you know, always booked to capacity. Number 3, my 3rd takeaway from this trip is Disney really needs to get it together with the rides breaking down. This was a constant thing all week long. So with Hollywood Studios, that was the Rise of the Resistance day. We did rope drop that. You guys, we get in line. We are going through there. We get inside. We just saw the stormtrooper. So you guys, we're in the ride. So we've already had, you know, a few things like computers talk to us and all this. And they're like, the ride's broke down. I'm like, you're kidding me. So this massive line of people outside and this ride has broken down. So we go through, they give everybody a lightning lane. So we came back about 2 hours later and we were able to go through in about 30 minutes using, or less than 30 minutes, using that lightning lane. So you guys, it was a non-stop thing. That ride was continuously, and my sister would watch these rides even when we weren't at that park. That one broke down continuously. Remy's, when we went to Epcot, wasn't even open. Like, it broke down several times that week. And then when we went to Epcot, it wasn't even open. Pirates was broken several different times. The Mickey and Minnie's Railway, I don't know exactly what it's, that might be what it's called. That broke down several times. You guys, it was like constantly, at least one ride kept breaking down at the parks. And for somebody that's paying a lot of money, you know, if you're going to Hollywood Studios, there are some people that really go to that just for Rise of the Resistance. If you go, you rope drop, and the rides broke down, I mean, that's a big letdown, and you've spent a ton of money. So I, in my brain, thought that Disney would have this under control. They've got backups for backups for backups, and that is not how things work. Rides were breaking left and right. So it creates massive lines as well. So I just wanted to mention that. They really need to get that together. I mean, tons. And those aren't all the rides that were breaking down. Those are just the ones that I can think off the top of my head. But they need to get it together, because that's ridiculous when people pay that much money and the ride continuously breaks down. Now let's talk about, from my knowledge, the best time to get on those want to ride rides. From my knowledge, everybody's trying to get to the park first thing in the morning. So if you're trying to wait until the end of the day to ride the rides, from our experience, we were able to get on those rides a lot faster than we would have been at the beginning of the day. Like, we did not think that we were going to, at Hollywood Studios, get on Mickey and Minnie's, is it Runaway Railway? And you guys, at the end of the day, it was the last ride that we rode. We go and get in line, and we were through there in like 30 minutes. And that happened for several different rides. So Space Mountain was the same way. Splash Mountain, when we went to Splash Mountain, it had like a 20-minute wait. But we waited until it was dark and the park was getting closer to closing time. So if you're wanting to ride something really bad, I would suggest waiting longer in the day, because I feel like, you know, people get to the park early because they have kids, and then by, you know, like 3 or 4, they're tired, they're ready to go to the resort. So that's when the ride lines start decreasing from our experience. Next, this is going to be a broad thing, but I want to talk about it because this is honestly what we did. We set goals every single day. So when we went to Magic Kingdom as a group, we came together and we're like, okay, what 5 rides do you want to get on? And everybody listed the 5, and we came up with a list. These are the 5. We were able to ride all of them but Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. And that's another one that broke down. So the line was pretty long, and then the ride broke down, and then the line was long again. So that was the only ride that we did not get to ride the entire week because the line was continuously long. There was no way around it. So set goals. If there are things you want to do, if there's, you know, parades you want to see or rides you want to ride, make a list. Because once you get in those parks, your mind just kind of goes blank because there's so many people and you're trying to go here and there, and you might just kind of black out. So I would set some goals, write some things down, manageable goals, so that you know a direction and what you want to do that day. Okay, I think I'm on number 6, I think, and guest services is your best friend. I will tell you that we had to contact guest services several times at the resort and in the parks. We had some kind of issue to where 1 or 2 of our group had several different My Disney experiences, and they couldn't ride rides. Their Magic Band wasn't working because their Magic Band was connected to one account and not the account that was on our trip confirmation. So it took like an hour to get it all straight. There were several different times that we had to contact guest services. There was a time when we went through Haunted Mansion, and evidently this happens quite often with Haunted Mansion. People will like to stand up. I'm thinking it's the table scene, but when somebody stands up, like the ride stops and somebody comes over the loudspeaker, and we were right at the point where they take photos, and we get on our photo pass, and all it is a blank dune buggy. So my sister goes to guest services. They were able to fix that for us and get those pictures on there. So if you have a question, that's what guest service people are there for. So if you have a question about anything, guest services is there to help. They will help in any way possible. All of the ones that we talked to were extremely nice as well. Okay, next let's talk about food. Okay, we did have reservations. So we had was it 4 or 5? 4 restaurants that we had reservations for was Ohana, Tusker House, and Liberty Tree Tavern. So those are our 3 favorites. Liberty Tree Tavern, Ohana, and Tusker House. Those are the ones that we want every time we go. So that is one thing to do the dining reservation, but any other thing, if it has mobile ordering, that is the way to go. And we found this out on day 1. You can order from everywhere. Our, I guess, well, I don't know if the commissary or cafeteria in our hotel, we would go down there to eat. Instead of going and ordering there, we would just order on the My Disney Experience app, put prepare immediately, go find a table, and then go up there and get our food. So all it did was charge it to, I think I had a credit card on file, charged it to that. You're in the park, you want some lunch from, let's say, Cosmic Rays, you go, you type it on in, you place your order, you go sit down, you go and get it when it's ready. So mobile ordering is the way to go. That is how we ordered every single thing that we had while we were there, unless it was like a pretzel or something from one of the little vending carts. So mobile ordering, it's on My Disney Experience. It will be your best friend your entire trip. You will get to skip all of those long lines for that. I didn't have this written down, but now I'm talking about mobile ordering. I'm going to talk about this next thing you can do. New thing. If you have the My Disney Experience app, which you should if you're staying at a resort, you can actually pay for your merchandise. So if you go to Disney Springs, to the World of Disney, there was a super long line. And I had those patches and that puzzle. And I'm like, I do not want to stand in this line. Well, I kept seeing these people go to the side and with their phone, and there were like bags over there that you could put your merchandise in. And I was like, Kate, go find out what they're doing. They were doing mobile checkout. So they would go up there, all you do is scan your items, you take it up there when you're finished and check out, you show them, the cast members make sure that you have everything and you're not stealing anything. They give you a bag and you walk out the door. So that is the best way to check out, is using your phone. I forgot what they call it, but you can, at certain places, you can pay using your phone. Scan things, the cast members help you, so you don't have to stand in that line that might be an hour. So that was super helpful. I was so glad that I figured that out on day one when we went to Disney Springs. Next thing, this is kind of really off the wall, but I'm going to tell you, every time I went in a bathroom, I took note. And I was like, you know what? When I do the video where I talk about all of my pluses, I'm mentioning this. I was so thankful that Disney and almost every single bathroom stall had 2 hooks. And you're probably going, why are you talking about that? Hey, that's important. So I had one for my bag, and then I had another for like my stuff that I purchased or my phone. I was like, oh, this is so great. I've got 2 different hooks. And one of the hooks on most of them would have 2 little things. So I would be able to hang my merchandise and my phone, because my phone has a little loop on the back. So I could just like loop it on one of those hooks. So I know that seems kind of, you know, really small, but you guys, that was really important to me. So I mean, that was real big. You know, germs going around and sickness going around, and you didn't have to put your stuff on the floor. So I found that very helpful and definitely wanted to mention it today. Okay, next thing is backpacks. So I actually had 2 backpacks and a fanny pack. And I had one backpack that you saw in the vlog that I actually took on the airplane, and that was because that was my Vera Bradley one. And that was because I had my planner and I had all my financial stuff, and I needed a sturdier backpack to carry all that through the airport. Now, when I got to the resort, I switched out and used my Get It Creations backpack. It was lighter. I didn't need to carry nearly as much stuff. So I think a backpack is essential when you're going through the park. I didn't use my fanny pack at all because I wanted to have a rain jacket with me, and my rain jacket would not fit in my fanny pack. So a backpack is essential. Now, some people wanted me to talk about what was in my park bag, and I will do that on a separate video. So I'm not going to share that today. I will share that maybe on Friday. That's what we'll do, is we'll talk about my backpack and everything in it. So I don't want to do that today and then do that video, and it's kind of, you know, the same thing twice. So next thing I want to talk about, I've lost what number I'm on. I'm just kind of rambling on. And I did have a few questions that I'll answer that were on Monday's YouTube video. So there is a Facebook group called Ears for Each Other. This is for like furloughed cast members to, you know, share their small businesses. My sister used 2 small businesses through Ears for Each Other. I will link that group in the description below. But that is a great way to support cast members outside of going to the parks. You guys, one company that she went through delivered is it charcuterie, I don't know that name. One of those tray things. I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it. Y'all know, with them trays. 2 of those. One of them was gluten-free, and then one of them wasn't, and it had cheeses and fruits and meats and all sorts of things, delivered it to the resort. Was fantastic. We got that on day one, and then for my birthday, she had another one of the small businesses deliver a gluten-free cake. And I wish we could have brought that home. We weren't able to eat nearly as much of it as I wanted. But if you're looking for ways to help cast members that may be furloughed, maybe not, check out that group. I'll leave it in the description, Ears for Each Other. Many, many, many different businesses, very creative people, so definitely check that out. Somebody asked about the crowds, and I will talk about that. Let me talk about that first. I will tell you, the first portion of the week was not that bad. We were able to do everything that we wanted, and this was the same as the trip we took at the end of 2019. But New Year's Eve and New Year's Day were insane. And I thought by doing the park reservation system, they were trying to cut down on the number of people in the parks. No way. If you watch my vlog on Monday, you will see New Year's Eve was jam-packed. So that was the same way it was New Year's Day. So the park reservation system, I don't know how that works, but I will tell you the crowds were really bad on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. And that was the same thing back in 2019, 2020. So at the beginning of the week, the 27th through the 30th were not bad, not as bad. Now it was crowded, but it's not as bad like, you know, heel to heel type thing. But on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, it was a madhouse. None of us could believe that they let that many people in the parks. So yes, it was a problem on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Let's see. And I will tell you, Disney Springs. Let's talk about crowd management at Disney Springs. I think Disney Springs must be a nighttime happening place to be, because it was the opposite of what I've said. So if you went to Disney Springs earlier in the day, the crowds weren't bad, but as it got to nighttime, it was packed and it was insane and it was almost unbearable. That was on the first day that we went, on the 26th and on the 29th. So as the day went on, it got even more packed, and it was just, it was not fun by the time it got dark. And I will tell you, when we went in May with Kate to cheer competition, we did go to Disney Springs, same experience there. So it wasn't just because it was Christmas, it was the same thing as May as it was this go round. Let's see. Did All-Star buses stop at other All-Star resorts, or how did that work? Okay, so All-Star buses is a very complicating thing, and you kind of have to know how it all works. So the buses will go from a resort to a park. So they'll go either to, you know, Epcot, Magic Kingdom, all that, Disney Springs. They will not go resort to resort. So how do you get from one resort to the next? You have to go to a location. So for instance, we would have to go to, let's say we want to go to Grand Floridian. This is what we would have to do. Get on the bus, take the bus, let's say, to Magic Kingdom, get off at Magic Kingdom, then go back around and get on the Grand Floridian bus. So the buses don't go from resort to resort, they go from resort to park. So you have to go to resort to park, park to resort. So it's really complicating. But yes, they do not go from resort to resort. What was your favorite change in Disney World since the last time you went, and what was your least favorite? I'm gonna honestly say I don't think anything was my favorite thing has changed. Like nothing at all. I think all the changes that Disney has made has been for the negative, in my opinion. This is my opinion. From the no fast passes to the whole Genie Plus and the Lightning Lane thing. Now I'm hearing prices are increasing. I don't know of any positive things that Disney is implementing. And I will tell you that now, to counter the resellers online every single thing that you purchase in the park at the stores, you can only buy 2 of each SKU. And that is, I guess they've dealt with a lot of people that are going in there buying everything and then reselling it online. So then they're dealing with that. I don't see anything that's positive. And then, you know, I've heard, I'm not an annual pass holder, but I've heard that they've done, you know, bad things to them or taken things away from them. And I really just don't like the direction that I see that they're going in, to be honest. I mean, every change that they make is not to the positive. It's all negative in my opinion. So I wouldn't say, and now they're taking away Magical Express. So I'm sure you're going to have to pay for that. So that was a huge perk for us to stay at the resort. Now, Magical Express will still go from, you know, resort to park. But from airport to resort, they won't be doing that anymore. Or if it is, I'm sure it's going to be a paid service now because everything is extra. And I don't want to get on my rant here, but it costs enough to go to Disney anyways. And my family has had to save, since the last trip that we took, we had to save a lot of money in order to go. My husband and I are both teachers. We don't make tons of money, so we were having to put back every little thing that we could to save for this trip. So, you know, it's not something that every family can do, and I really think that that's not good. They have outpriced it so much that, you know, some kids will never get to go. A lot of kids will never get to go because it is that expensive. Everything about Disney is expensive. Everything. The water is $3.50 a bottle. $3.50 a bottle. So, I mean, I don't want to get on my soapbox about it, but I just feel like they're going in the wrong direction. And I really don't know any positives that I can sit here and go, oh, that's one. Let's see. Anything else? Here's the last one, and then I'll be finished. How did you get your kids up so early to rope drop? If you're at Disney, they're wanting to go on these rides. They wanted to go on Rise of the Resistance. They wanted to go on Avatar. So getting them up to go do something fun that they wanted to do wasn't that bad. So if it was, hey, let's get up early to go to school, that would have been a no go. But since they wanted to go to the parks, it was easier to get them up and moving around. So you guys, I think that answers everything, all the questions I have, any notes that I, you know, jotted down or wanted to share with you. So if there's any other questions that you have about the Disney trip, if there's any questions about Disney planning or anything like that that you want me to answer, please leave those in the comments below. And you guys, I know that seems like something that I say, oh, my nose is itching, something that I say every video, but I'm serious. I can't tell you how many times one question would be like, I didn't think about that. I can do a video on that one question. So leave any questions you have in the comments, and if I have enough, I will do a second video. So you guys, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you give it a big thumbs up. By giving my videos a thumbs up, it shows YouTube you're engaged and you like my content, which means they'll start suggesting it and recommending it to more people, which means our community will grow and will continue to spread positivity. Also, I hope you hit that red subscribe button to become a part of our community and our mission to get organized on a budget and with a plan together. I hope you guys have a fantastic week, and until next time, bye you guys.